Hey friends, welcome back to Clubhouse Kids. Today is the very last video in our series with the Grow With Me curriculum, which is an infant curriculum for providers and infant teachers. And this curriculum was created to just give you amazing and fun ideas to enhance those infant milestones and just have fun with your littlest learners in your classrooms. So in this video, we'll be talking about activities that you can do with your 11-month-old infants. But if you missed any of the other videos in this series, I have done one video for every single month of baby's first year, starting at 3 months and then ending at 11 months. Since this curriculum was created for daycares, most of us in the US, babies start around 8 to 12 weeks, and so that is why I started at month 3. And then right at their first birthday in my program, my students graduate into my toddler program, and so they're no longer working through Grow With Me. Grow With Me is a very individual curriculum that I do with each individual child depending on what month they are in their first year. Whereas after their first birthday, they are integrated into my toddler program, which is very thematic, and all the students in that age group are doing the same activities throughout the day. So let's get started, and I will share with you some fun activities to do with your 11-month-old students. So first, I'm going to read through the milestones that you'll want to be watching for during this month. And they are standing with little support, pulling to stand, letting go voluntarily, cruising, using gestures to communicate, feeding self, verbalizing familiar words, imitating the activities of adults and older kids, and interacting more with family and caregivers. So I like to look at this whole month as your fun graduating month. You get to kind of wrap up that first year and get to see all the exciting things that your student has learned and how much they have changed and grown. They went from this tiny little human to this toddler that is just ready to explore and start making friends and interacting with their peers. This month is super fun, and I'm excited to share with you some of my favorite activities for this age group. So in my Grow With Me books, you can download these and you get one book for every single month. And then I have activities in all the domains of learning. So I give you an activity for cognitive development, fine motor, gross motor, sensory, social emotional, and then speech and language. And then I have extension activities for your students who have kind of mastered these activities here and you're just needing a little bit more for the month. You can go a step further with the extension activities. And then on the last page, I just like to put some of my favorite toys and activities that I have in my classroom when I have a student this age group. So most of my infant materials I put away when I do not have that age student, and then I bring them out when I have a student going through the Grow With Me. So I like to have just a list of things so that I know that I have the correct age appropriate materials in my classroom each month for my littlest learner. Okay, so I have containers for each one of the months of the baby's first year, and I just fill them with materials that I use exclusively for that month. But as baby gets closer to that first birthday, they do start to use more materials within my classroom. So if I can use toys and activities that I have going on, because my classroom is very thematic. So this month behind us, our theme is let's make some noise. So we are doing all music activities. And so if I can incorporate some of those materials into Grow With Me, I do that. And that is usually more as the baby gets a little bit older, whereas in that first couple months, they are just usually exclusively using the materials from their bin. But one thing that I do bring out at the 11 months is blocks. So if I don't have just like building blocks in my block center, Sometimes I just have like regular building blocks in my block center, but I do rotate out those toys every month for my older students. So if I do not have just, classic building blocks, I will bring these out and put them in a little basket and add them to my block center for my 11-month-old. And this month we really work on towers. So we're building 2 and 3 block towers. So when baby's working on placing blocks on top of one another, they're really working on having gentle hands and control with their hands, and they're working on the dexterity. This activity also just builds confidence in baby, and then they love to knock them down. So I will build taller towers with baby, and they can just knock them down, and we laugh and we have fun with this. And that also starts to build baby's confidence and teaches them cause and effect. So this is a really great activity to bring out for this age group. Another thing that this age group loves is container toys. And so I have some shape sorters that I will bring out because they have pieces in here. I'll also use the materials in my classroom because I have a lot of bins and tubs that have different materials in, and what baby likes to do at this point is just dump and fill. So anything that they can dump out of a basket and fill back up. So dump and fill activities are really great for spatial and conceptual learning, and so it's really teaching baby what items can fit inside others, and then the relationship between in and out, or empty and full. And so you will see this activity go into those very early toddler years. If you have a very young class and you're pulling your hair out because all they want to do is just dump the toys, my recommendation is to allow them to do it. So just really get rid of most of your materials in your classroom and go down to a very basic 1 toy per shelf, because this is a very age appropriate activity that they can learn a lot of skills from. So another activity that I like to keep in my bin are a couple of soft dolls. This is a great social emotional activity. This allows babies to imitate their caregivers or their parents. You can give them a dolly with a bottle and a blanket, and then just watch them take care of the baby doll. So this helps infants develop that nurturing and empathy. And then the last activity I'm going to share with you is a familiar object activity that I do with this age group. Now, last month we talked about mimic toys and bringing in toys or even real objects into your classroom that baby can mimic and use that they see in their real world. So like hairbrushes, combs, spoons, keys, a clicker, things that they see you using in real life, letting them play with those and mimic those real world events and make those connections in their brain. So this month you can use the same items, and this time you're going to place 2 objects in front of baby. So let's say a cup and sunglasses. And then you're gonna ask them to hand you one of the items. So you might be like, can you hand me the sunglasses? And then baby will hand you the sunglasses. So this is such a fun cognitive development activity to do with baby. You can switch out the materials and objects that you're using every single day. Just grab 2 or 3, start with 2, and if baby's really getting it, maybe add a 3rd object to see if they can pick from a series of 3. And this is just going to work on improving their memory and recognizing basic objects in their life. Okay guys, those are my favorite activities for this age group. When I get to the last page, the classroom, I do have the pack and play because I'm still using a pack and play with this age group. But once they hit that 1st birthday, I do start the transition to napping them on a mat instead of the pack and play. Now every baby is different. Some babies are going to be completely ready for a mat or cot by that 1st birthday, and other babies are just not going to be ready to get rid of the pack and play or a crib if they're sleeping in your care. Now one thing that I do work on is dropping that morning nap and getting them to just a 1 nap a day with the rest of the toddlers and 2s age group. So that can take a couple months, and so that's something that I'm working on around this, starting about this age, getting them down to that 1st nap and getting them onto a cot. And then the other thing that I will do around this age is transition them out of, if they have been in a high chair, I will transition them onto our table. So I have very low children's tables in my classroom, and so I will start transitioning them away from that high chair table to a more children's table. And that just kind of helps transition them into that next program. Being a multi-age classroom, I do like to have different things for each age group so that they feel that confidence and that milestone that they are growing through my program. So there's lots more activities in this booklet. I will link it below. Go check it out. Go check out all of the months. I love this infant curriculum because it's so individualized to the child. You can go at their own pace, and it's just a blast, and all the activities will really just prepare them. And so if you have been following along in this whole series, thanks for watching, guys, and thanks for all your encouraging comments and emails I've received about this curriculum, and I'm so glad that you guys are all enjoying it as much as me and my little learners have, and I just love sharing it with y'all, and so I just really appreciate all the encouragement that I have received while doing this series. So thanks for watching this video, you guys, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.